Wrestling fans, years have become months that have become weeks, and now we're talking days and even hours as Boston Wrestling MWF celebrates its 20th anniversary, going back to the 90s. Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. The superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will take part in a live wrestling event, autograph photo, Fanfest, VIP exclusive Q&A, plus the kickoff to our annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. After Jimmy Kimmel embarrassed Melrose for, well, being Melrose, we're also going to have a superstar costume contest where best dressed wins an awesome autographed prize. On November the 13th, you'll see and meet two-time WWE World Champion and Hall of Famer Bob Backlund, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze, a.k.a. Madusa, from WCW, WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty, the Doctor of Style Slick, Doink the Clown, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, Portuguese Man of War Aldo Montoya, plus two-time Impact Wrestling World Champion Die Hard Eddie Edwards, JTG of Crime Time, John Cena Sr., Oscar of Men on a Mission, AEW's Jora Joe, and more. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live November the 13th. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
We've had so much fun bringing folks the highlights from Cauliflower Alley Club reunions, the 2021 edition from the Gold Coast Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Rey Mysterio winning the Lucha Libre Award. Now we have the opportunity before our big 20th anniversary event with this lovely lady on Saturday, November the 13th, the one and only three-time WWE Women's Champion, WWE Hall of Famer, and again, the Iron Mike Mazurki Award. That's about as high as you can get in the Cauliflower Alley Club. We're talking about the one and only Madusa, Alundra Blayze.
Wow, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I watched her when she was in the ring, followed her when she made the move. The fans are in for a treat.
Well, from her days in the AWA, Japan, WCW, WWE, back to WCW, to the monster trucks, now taking pen to paper and writing an autobiography that's going to be out next year.
Well, one more book to read.
There you go. All right, folks, let's go back to Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here she is, Madusa Michelli, Alundra Blayze.
There's a lot to follow here tonight. And first of all, before I begin the speech, there's so many that I haven't seen here tonight, and some I've just met. And I want to give the applause to you in the room and everybody here. Thank you. So, now we're going to have some fun. Rob, I need a joint. I've never smoked. I got it right now. I need one. Bad. Just kidding. Never been one to do drugs or get high or anything, but that's gone pretty good. Calm my nerves. All right. So also, I noticed we were talking about, I think it was Tim and I were talking about a little earlier about age and how you get older. And it was right, when I hit 40, my eyes went. So I need my glasses for my speech. And also, when you hit 50, your body starts slowing down and, you know, it's a little hard to move around. And now I'm going to be 60, and I always got to pee. So I hate that, but being a pro wrestler, I've become a pretty good one at that, because I don't know if any of you can, but if you're going down the road and you're traveling with all guys and you're the only girl, you learn how to pee in a cup. I'm just saying, it's a true story. You all think I'm crazy, but when you travel with some of these legends, they don't let you out for nothing. All right. honored members of the CAC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely honored and humbled to be standing here tonight alongside all of the 2020 CAC honorees to accept the prestigious Iron Mike Award. Thank you. The M&M and the names like Mike Mazurki and Madusa are symbolic. Though I do not have the trademark cauliflower ear as he so rightfully earned, I do have an ear for the business. As we gather here annually, it is important to recognize and continue to carry out the tradition of the Ring of Friendship. At the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters with an incredible opportunity to honor and give back to those in need. A while ago, I ran into Brian Blair and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff at the airport. We ended up conversing all the way to the Delta Sky Room. We chatted, got caught up, and at the same time, I learned of Paul's declining health. This validated that spending more time with friends and family is very important. I didn't realize that that was the last time I was going to see Paul. And I was crushed to hear of his passing. I knew right then and there I wanted to be a part of CAC and called Brian the next week and said I want to be a lifetime member, damn it. And I became one. I love you, Brian. Thank you. I've had so many friends and colleagues pass in these businesses, and it doesn't get any easier. I am happy with what the CAC does for others, and that is why it's so important to me to promote the importance of the CAC, what it represents, and what we do for those in need. I did not grow up planning to be a wrestler, nor was I planning to do backflips in a monster truck. As a child, I had no idea where I was going or what I wanted to do when I grew up. Survival has always been instinctual for me. And I learned early on as a child that I didn't want to survive, I wanted to thrive. I was bullied and mocked because I came from a broken family, wore hand-me-down clothes, and was on welfare. All of the adversity I survived as a young girl helped shape me into the tenacious woman I am today. As a young woman, my initial introduction into the entertainment industry was due to Kai Michelson. Kai Michelson was a premier Hollywood stunt coordinator, so immediately my thoughts raced towards acting and becoming a stunt woman. However, that's not exactly what happened. Instead, he introduced me to Ed Sharkey, who was an independent wrestling promoter in Minnesota. My time with Ed Sharkey taught me many lessons. I went broke, lost my car, lived with friends, depleted my savings, and ended up living on the streets. I lost everything. I tell you this because not only is it true, it taught me some amazing lessons. Little did he know, Ed forced me to toughen up and never give up. His tough tactics would be considered barbaric by today's standards, but it worked. I didn't like it, but it made me tougher and gave me more incentive to fight to change the trajectory of women's wrestling. I mean, after 3 years, he finally frickin' paid me $5. That's a shoot, that's real, it is. While wrestling for Ed in Minnesota, I discovered that some of the most legendary wrestlers in the business were right in my backyard. The Ganyas, the Hennings, Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, Rick Rude, Nikita Koloff, Nick Bockwinkel, and so many more were right there wrestling in the AWA. I had no idea where I was going in the business until one day I got that call from Wahoo McDaniel. Yeah. Oh, yes. Really quick, I don't have it here, but I'm going to tell you. So Wahoo, whenever we would wrestle, he'd always say, Madusa, come over here, I got a spray paint. He'd make me spray paint the back of his bald spot every time he wrestled. And I was the one that had to spray paint his head. And then I had black crap all over my hand, and then, oh my gosh. Anyway, I had to tell that story, it was just that. That one phone call changed my life and was a pivotal moment in my introduction to the world of professional wrestling. I loved my time at AWA and became the women's champion in a tournament after the great Sherry Martel. She left to go to the WWE, and shortly afterwards, at the Showboat in Las Vegas, I wrestled Chigusa Nagoya. After the match, I was introduced to promoters from Japan who invited me to go to Japan and wrestle with All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. I knew how important it was to go to Japan to hone my craft, as well as earn respect and legitimacy within the business. I spent 3 years in Japan, and while there, again, lost everything due to unscrupulous management, and again was forced to start all over again and reinvent myself. Once back in the United States, I immediately began wrestling in the independent scene to showcase everything I had learned in Japan. I blended what I learned in Japan with my existing skills, which became a style unlike anyone has seen. That style caught the attention of World Championship Wrestling so quickly that they signed me to a contract. After my first stint with WCW, I began to wrestle in the independent scene for about a year. I met Brandon Pender of the martial arts world in California. After meeting Brandon, I finally made a few movies, and my Hollywood dreams are starting to come true and came to fruition. So during this time of independence, we have fun. You get to travel the world. You get to go to different countries and have some fun. Well, this first time, I went to Africa. I went to Zimbabwe. Wow. I felt really guilty wrestling there after seeing what was around me, but I had fun. So much fun with all the other wrestlers. It was the Bushwhackers. We were at the bar in Africa. Hold on. We were in the bar in Africa with the Bushwhackers. It was Cheryl Russo and I, of Glow. And we were just minding our own business, having a few beers. And we turned around and there were the Bushwhackers all bloody from their nose. We're like, oh my God, in the bar. And of course, us wrestlers all having fun. They were drinking and they got into a scuffle. And they were going absolute bonkers. One of them was bleeding so bad, I just turned around and handed him a tampon. Well, you know what they do, they absorb blood, whatever. So I thought, as a woman, here, use this, you know. Well, he shoved it up his nose with the string hanging, and he's going, hey, mate, all the way down to the airplane, bloody well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but it was a true story. That's the stuff that we dealt with, too. Oh, so good. During this time, I was also introduced to Pat Patterson of WWE. My introduction into the WWE was eye-opening, as I had never wrestled on such a grand stage, and expectations of me were high. I became women's champion in a tournament against my very dear friend, Heidi Lee Morgan. And with that, my life changed forever. I went on to win the WWE's Women's Championship 3 times during my tenure, and as WWE was transitioning, the women's division was eliminated yet again. And I was forced to adapt and overcome and survive. However, I got fired by a guy in here. He's here tonight. I still have that letter of termination that came to a FedEx, not even a phone call, and said, you're done. Right, JJ Dillon? That's okay. I love him. JJ was so good to me. He was just doing his job. That's all. Still got that letter. Oh my gosh. Okay, so again, I was forced to adapt and overcome to survive, but this time I was going to be noticed and heard. After my release from WWE, legend has it that a phone call was made by someone to someone asking about going to work for World Championship Wrestling. This phone call, made by whoever, led to probably the most iconic moment in wrestling history, and a moment that will forever be remembered. I still have the belt. And your letter. In WCW, I was booked to wrestle in bikini and barbecue matches. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the direction the wrestling business was headed for women. I hated the way I was being booked. Was that you, Kevin Sullivan? I just remembered. Kevin. Okay, no, maybe it wasn't. I love you. I love you. I hated the way I was being booked and gave notice that I was retiring from professional wrestling at the end of my contract in 2001. While still under contract with WCW, I received a call from Mike Weber, who used to work for WCW, asking if I was interested in driving monster trucks. I was like, I've never seen one, okay. But I'm a gearhead, I ride Harleys, four-wheelers, but yeah, okay, I'll check it out. So, not knowing anything about monster trucks, quickly realized that this is a great moment, and it would be great to be the first woman to drive a monster truck for Monster Jam. So, I did. And within 5 years, I became the Monster Jam Freestyle Champion, and the following year, I beat the legendary Dennis Anderson of Gravedigger, and became the first woman racing champion. Let me tell you about that night. Oh my God. So I'm sitting in my truck, and it's like 1,500 horsepower underneath your ass. It's just like, yeah, if you're an adrenaline junkie, you can understand, all right? And I'm like, whoa, it's like so cool. And you have trees. They're lights, they're trees for racing. So we are getting ready to race. And I can barely hear anything, and I hear the announcer, Scott Douglas, in the back. And all you have is like, oh my God, can you imagine? Do you believe what is happening? You have man against woman. Chevy against Ford. I'm a Ford girl. And teacher against student. And I'm like, inside my head, I'm like, can you just shut the f and just go? Because your adrenaline is so high, right? Well, and the rest is history. So that was a great moment. Yeah. In 2018, I officially retired from Monster Jam. So throughout my life, I continued my education. I became a master dog groomer, a certified life coach, a Reiki master, a yoga instructor, a personal trainer. And during the lockdown, I became immersed into the world of professional gaming on Twitch. I mean, what almost 60-year-old woman does that? I mean, Pac-Man. Hey. My intuition has always guided me and kept me ahead of the business curve. Using all that I have learned, I am launching the next chapter of my career. So tonight, I am really proud to announce, very, very excited, that I have signed with ECW Publishing to publish my biography. Thank you, Greg Oliver, for not spilling the beans earlier in your speech. Thank you to Michael Holmes at ECW and my co-writer, Greg Oliver, as he navigates through the years of memories to write and publish my story. Greg Oliver was honored this evening with the James C. Melby Historian Award, and I can't thank him enough for his patience. Thank you. It is with incredible humility that I accept this great honor, not so much as an award of what I have achieved, but as a standard to hold against what I have yet to accomplish. The largest share of this credit belongs with my colleagues in professional wrestling, motorsports, and the entertainment industry. It is in good conscience to give credit where credit is due. To Kai Michelson, Ed Sharkey, Mike Weber, Brandon Pender, dear, sentimental, generous, courageous men who took a chance on an unknown and untried amateur. To my friends in the business, mentors, and fans, I humbly thank you. Speaking of friends in the business, Mr. Orezi, where are you? Oh, hi. So, If you don't know who John Arezzi is, he's an amazing man, a great promoter, and a great bullshitter. No, really, he's a great guy. He is. So what I want to know, John, is how did we not go to jail in the Philippines? How in the hell did we not go to jail?
Yes, Kevin.
Kevin? All right. Wasn't it Singapore where we almost got caned for chewing gum?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Or what about the shenanigans from Jake the Snake? Hold on, I'll keep it good. The shenanigans from Jake the Snake was when he locked me in a dressing room and he threw that big ass canvas bag with that cold-blooded python hissing. Oh no, it's a shoot. That thing came out of the canvas, I was scared to death, and I climbed up a wall. How do you climb up a wall? All of a sudden I grabbed a pipe from above and I looked behind me and here's a snake climbing up a wall. I lost my cookies. Oh my gosh, it was bad, but that was with Jake the Snake. Yes. Or better yet, how in the hell did we ever get through customs with the ring post stuffed with cocaine? Kevin Sullivan? Yes, yes. And none of us knew about it. How the hell did that happen? Or did you? Is that why you left for 20 years? I think that's why you left for 20 years. That's what you did. Yes, why else would you leave after that? I am not kidding. And the other promoter? Shit, he's rich as hell in a 20,000 square foot home, and we were still poor ass. Golly, we were broke. Mm-hmm. To all of my amazing magazine writers who were my social media back in the day, Bill Apter, George Napolitano, and my dearest friend from afar, Fumi Saindo. So many more. There's so many more of you that made our careers when there wasn't social media. Thank you. The photographers and the videographers, you guys were great, because when you got my way, you became part of my match. Thank you so much. Also, many thanks to my dear friend Leonard Kaplan, who flew me from Japan to film his wrestling talk show and meet my ultimate fanboy, Carmine Despirito. Oh my God, he had the biggest crush on me. It was so creepy. Dude, it was bad. It's so bad. I still have old love letters from him. Oh, I kept those too. And the letter, and the belt, and a hand. My book is going to be amazing.
How about 2 copies?
Well, thank you. My dear friends, it is impossible to acknowledge everyone who has contributed to my success. But please know that each and every one of you have left an incredible mark on my life. And I can't thank you enough for your love and support throughout the years. I want to thank Mr. Vince McMahon, Sue Aitchison, and Tim White, and the entire WWE universe. I am so proud to be a WWE Hall of Famer. Thank you. Also, thank you to all of the hardworking staff here at the CAC, everyone here at the Gold Coast Casino, and all of our wonderful, wonderful policemen and cops. Thank you so much for what you do. This has been a wonderful evening. As I close here, I have a message to anyone aspiring to be in the entertainment business. Something I kept telling myself, and just a little secret that can help you keep on path when you're feeling defeated. Integrity is the practice of being honest and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. In ethics, integrity is regarded as the honesty and truthfulness or accuracies of one's actions. Never compromise your integrity. If there's one thing I can say to help encourage you, it is when you feel defeated, visualize your greatest strength. Your character is louder than words, and your integrity defines you. And for me, I'm not done. I am forever growing. Do not think for one moment I would ever leave these businesses. My heart is here. I will always be back to claim it. Here's to the past, to the present, and to the future. Thank you, and good night. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wrestling fans, you can join the nonprofit Cauliflower Alley Club for only $25 annually, $300 for a lifetime membership in the United States, and help make a difference in the life of wrestling greats by visiting caulifloweralleyclub.org. If you're new to Boston Wrestling MWF, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel for over 2,000 free videos, and studio shoot interview talk shows 7 nights per week. Until we speak again, be healthy. Good night from Boston.